Now that we have our pivot table created, I can sort it by using this little arrow button in the row labels cell. I just click that and I'll get a little pop-up menu here. I can use these buttons to sort it ascending or descending. I can also add a filter if I just want to look at maybe one vendor or a few different vendors. I would start by unchecking this Select All button, and then I can just check off the vendors I want to see. Let's say I just want to see Amazon and Apple and maybe Dell. I just check them off, and then that's what I'm seeing here for my data. If I want to get back to seeing everything, I can just recheck the Select All button. I can also use these drop-down menus here to create a similar custom filter. When I'm done with this box, I can just click the X to get rid of it. I'm going to switch up this table a little more. I'm going to get rid of the vendor. If you want to remove a field from one of these boxes, you can just drag it and drop it and it'll disappear. And let's say that we now want to look at how much each person spent. I'm going to grab my name field and drag it down to the row labels box. And we're now seeing totals for each person that we had in our spreadsheet. Again, this is all referring to the spreadsheet we have here. So now what we're looking at is the criteria for the name column. Let's say we want to add a second criteria. Let's say we also want to look at category, how much each person spent in each category. We can take this category field and drag it down to live also in the row labels box. And you'll see that when I added that category field, now under each person, I have what they spent on each category. I have the total that each person spent, and then the subtotals for what they spent on each category. If I wanted to switch it, if I wanted to have the category be the main criteria, and then within each category how much each person spent, I can just drag the name field here beneath the category field, and it's going to switch it for me. So now I have the totals for each category, and within each category I have how much each person spent. I can also toggle these categories open and closed by clicking the arrows next to them. So I can collapse the view if I just want to see the main totals, or I can open them back up again. And if I want to switch it back, all I need to do is just drag that category back underneath the name. So the totals Excel is giving us here are sums. It's adding up the amounts. But let's say we want to look at it as percentages. We want to see what percentage of the total each person spent, and within that, what percentage they spent on each category. We're going to go over to our values section here, and for the sum of amount field, we're going to click this little I, and this gives us a menu of the field settings. We're using the sum function. If you wanted to, you could have it count, give you just how many different transactions there were. You could have it give you the average. Max would be the highest, min would be the lowest. We're going to stick with sum because we still want it to be adding up the total, but we want it to display it as a percentage. So we're going to click this options button, and in this menu here, show data as, we want it to show it as a percentage of the total. So let's see what happens when we click OK. You'll see it switched our totals from just the money to percentages. So I now have the total percentage that each person spent. If I want to, I can collapse these down, and then within each person's percentage I have what they spent on each category.